Okay, should we do some work up these claws? Double check there's enough solder on that top bezel. No, there's not on that one. Okay, and we're back. I did a solder on the top bezel and then I did one on the bottom bezel as well. It looked a bit weedy, one joint. So yeah, watch me try and bend these in position and the whole thing bend out of place. So I can feel it already flexing. These claws are so strong for the kind of framework they're attached to. Not ideal trying to bend these straight. So just what I'm doing in this situation, I recommend you do. When you're unsure or you're quite sure it's not strong enough but you want to have a go anyway, see what you can get away with, you just don't just yank it, you just carefully increase the pressure you're putting on it whilst watching the whole thing and feeling it. If it's starting to flex a bit uncomfortably, I think it's just too hard to bend. There's always trying to hold it differently as well to help yourself out. Okay, that one did work. I left these in as well because I did say in my last video I was going to pull those out now, but it's all structural rigidity, so I'm going to leave them in for now. I'm sure I said in the last video, I'm going to straighten those, but then it's likely to go a bit banana-y and then I'll just have to find it flat again. But because it's thick, I can get away with it like that, that's what I mean. That's now been pulled up straight, was in, now it's like that, but only from where I held it. That bit is still trying to curve out that way, so basically, because it's thick, I can now file that off to make it look straight again. So, risky doing this, but I got away with one. I reckon I can get away with the others as well, but just proceed carefully in it. Okay, now I'm in the mood for trying something else a bit risky. I'm going to go for it and try and pull these out under heat, but where this is a little bit more risky than usual, I've got different size bezels, yeah. That one, I've got a solder join on the top there and a solder join deep inside the ring there. I've got to get both of those hot enough simultaneously for that solder to melt and I can pull that out of position. I'll have a go. I think I can get away with it, but if it's not working for whatever reason, I will simply just cut through it there, and then there's only one join I've got to battle with, and then I'll just try again, but just concentrate on that one join, and then there'll just be a little bit soldered on there. I can file that off quickly, so you can always reduce the risk somehow, but I'm going to go for it full fat, full risky, pulling it out under heat. Okay, here we go. Again, really quick to pull the flame away. Keeping an eye on the other joins as well. If they're flooding and this one's not, then I will easily decide to give up. Tell you what, brass tweezers heat up fast. I got a feeling I might be giving up. Oh, nah, nah, I'm giving up. I saw that join flood, I saw that join flood, and it only still wasn't really hot enough. It moved a little bit, but I needed to get it quite a lot hotter to pull that out, and these joins were already flooding, so perhaps they would flood, that would flood. Risky, too risky. I'm gonna cut through it. So it's important to keep it friendly with the piece you're working on. If you start getting into a bit of competition, like adding more heat, pulling harder, that's when things fall apart and you get mistakes. You need to have the mindset of being okay to change your plan on how to make it. And that might mean like taking other parts off, or you spent ages balancing bits together in the correct position. You've got to have the mindset of just like, no, I can't continue this way, and then starting again or finding a new way, a less risky way. Cut through it, let's try again. So it's only joined one side now on the top bezel side. Just like that. There you go. Other side. way easier with just one join to worry about. So there it is with that separating bar removed. I decided to cut that really close to the bottom bezel and just file off that little bit. It would have been possible to cut that off a bit longer, remove one, and then there would have been a bit of length to hold onto that with tweezers, but that's more difficult and risky again. Getting in the realms of holding tweezers right on it, right out the solder joint, is going to need more heat because the tweezers will soak up heat, and it's fiddly difficult. That's still a delicate kind of bit of framework, so more risky doing that, even if I cut it off, leaving a bit of length for tweezers to hold on to. I thought I'd just cut it short and then file it off. It's, again, even though that first one was easy, eliminating risk with the bottom one there by deciding to file that instead. Anyway, I'll leave it as it is for now. Let's get on with these claws. Can you see a bit of banana ridge? Where's a bad one? That one's quite bad. Seen that big bump on the side where it was out and I bent it in? So the first thing I'm going to do is file that off, perhaps with a bigger file. Paper disc, probably best tool for this job. Yeah, just straight now. So I'll go around it and do that on all of them first, and then I'll start working on picking the ones where the one side's got weird lumps and curves on it, and I'll just try and work around it, straightening them all up. So as for the sides, just touching it with the paper disc. Just looking. I know they are, they actually are different to each other. Some are curved, some are on slightly left to the right. So there's a little bit of just doing what looks right. But if when I finish this and I'm happy with it, I reckon if I go round it with digital calipers, like measuring the distance between that one and that one and that one and that one on the opposite sides, might all be quite different, more than I would like. But in the day, people don't buy jewellery for its mathematical properties, just what it looks like. So if the claws are wrong, you've got to do what you've got to do. And there is a chance, even after you made it, done best pass, and there is a chance after the stone's set, you can file up the claws on top of the stone slightly differently as well, or push one slightly over. There's tricks you can do right to the very end. And then, even when you've done that and you're still not really liking it, after a polish it'll look so much better. Just polished metal with reflections all over the surfaces hides a lot as well. So that's just lightly going down the sides with a paper disc and then hitting the sides quite a lot, bottom half, trying to straighten them out. It looks better than I was expecting. I'm just going to do one more thing actually on these claws. They're way too chunky at the bottom, so I'm going to reduce the point down towards the bezel. Might have to tweak the sides again afterwards, but it's fine. I'm looking around it now, picking holes in it, trying to find ways to improve it. Because you see, I'm trying to get that shank and the bottom square bezel to look good. Claws look alright coming off them, but can you see how that top bezel comes out like that? I was trying to hide it as much as I could. It's all phrased out to fit like that, and I thought I squared it off nicely, but it's still showing wonkiness. Yeah, so I'm looking up and down the sides of the claws, like making sure they're straight. I'm sort of looking in the joins there. They all four could do with building up. Like, see that bit of a bit gappy there. They all need solder on this edge, so they need topping up with solder. And where else is it? There's other stuff I didn't like about them. Just where the points line up. I do have the option of mucking about with the thicknesses of that bottom bezel if I really was concerned about how the claws look joining on there. They're actually quite good. I've got to decide what to do for the shoulders. I might just have to split off a V or something, I don't know. Anyway, for now, this is sort of shaped up, just needs a little bit of work to finish this stage, like with the solder building up and stuff and the claws straightening out a little bit, just shorten the claws as well, flatten the tops, and yeah, ready to start thinking about the shoulders.